So we are going to continue the Intro to AI course by digging into what these AI systems are really made of. In other words, what are the major components of AI systems? And we're going to be starting with what we call data, right? I want to just start by saying that there is no AI without data. All these things that we see that look so magical will not be possible if there's no data. Data is so foundational to building AI systems. All right, so what exactly is data? Data is simply any kind of information. Think of what you type into a search bar, photos on your phone, the likes and comments you get on a social media post, the number of steps you take in a day. These are all just living your normal life, but they are all data points. They are raw facts that computers can use to learn or make decisions about you or about any system at all. All right, now let's take this a bit more practical, So let's look at an example here of a cake factory. So imagine that you are running a bake factory and you want to find out, the best combination of recipe and ingredients that gives you the perfect outcome for your customers every time. So how are you going to solve this problem using AI? Now, the first thing you want to do is for each batch of the cake you make, you want to start recording the exact quantity of ingredients that you used, as well as the baking temperature over a period of time. And that's what we call data. So when you record that, you also record the feedback you get from your clients for each batch of cake. And when you combine that information, you can use that to train a machine learning model that will help you know what combination of ingredients will give your customers the kind of cake that they like. And then you can use that information to improve the quality of your cake. So as you can see here, the data consists of your recipe and your ingredient list, as well as the outcomes that your users like. So now I want you to think about that. This is a very simple use case, but can you imagine the impact of how your business can be improved if you're able to collect this data and build an AI system that can tell you like these are the kind of things that your customers like? Now, I want you to see that as how powerful data is for AI. Because remember, if you did not record those measurements, there will be nothing for the AI system to work with. And I find that is a recurring problem with many companies, especially in developing countries, who want to explore the potential of AI in their businesses, but unfortunately, they haven't been great at collecting the data that is needed to build these systems. And I find that is what is slowing the adoption of AI in many of these places. So I want you to understand the importance of documentation for developing AI systems. Whether it's a workflow you want to automate or a machine learning system that you want to build, we need to have the data. Because without data, there is no AI system. So the next time you are facing a routine or repetitive task at home or at work, I want you to just pause and think, hey, can AI be applied to this use case? What kind of data will be used to automate this process so that I can use my time for more interesting things that I like? That would be a good learning point for you from this course. So now the next thing we're going to be looking at is algorithms. All right, so algorithms are, the foundational component of AI, similar to data. And I bet you've heard about algorithms before, like social media algorithms, recommender systems, for shopping, for music, and a host of other such systems. But the fact is that's not all about AI. So there are lots of algorithms that are out there that we can learn. For example, for natural language processing, computer vision applications, clustering, segmentation, etc. So what exactly is an algorithm? It is basically a step-by-step recipe to get things done. That is, it is a set of instructions that humans provide to a computer to perform a task. It gives the computer very clear and straightforward information about what to look at, what steps to follow, and what kind of results it's expected to produce to complete any transaction. Now let's take a look at a very practical example here. Let's say you have a 7-year-old and you're wanting to teach your 7-year-old how to, cook a meal step by step. How are you going to do that? You give instructions. So those step-by-step instructions are the processes, the algorithm that is required to make that meal. So the step-by-step instructions you are providing does not cook the food, but it guides the child to complete the task. So anytime you have to give a set of instructions, let's say for driving or completing any task at all, I want you to remember that you're essentially building an algorithm. So let's look at a practical example. Let's say that you want to give instructions about how to make a dish of pasta. The instructions are going to look like this. So you're going to say, first of all, you boil the water, then you add the pasta into the water that is boiling, then you prepare the pasta sauce, and you're going to combine the pasta sauce and the pasta itself together, and the dish is ready. So those step-by-step directions you have provided is what we call an algorithm. So an algorithm does not do the cooking for you, but it provides you the instructions to prepare the meal. So next up, we are going to be looking at another interesting component of AI, which is machine learning.